I am not a social person. That doesn't mean I'm antisocial. It just means, no thank you. It's very nice meeting you. But sir or madam, I have neither the time nor the inclination. I got to go. Well, where you going? I'm not telling you. That is a point of view from the absolute value point. I'm not one side or the other. I see, I decide. I see, I don't judge this. I don't judge that from a moralistic point of view. But I do have the right to decide what I want in my life. That doesn't mean I'm going, no. The answer is no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I understand why some who reach that awakening state live on mountaintops. They're not being mean. They just say, oh man, this sure is better up here at 60 below zero than it is down there. You know, no crap. All the animals don't lie. They live in truth. All right, I can deal with that. But I also understand the Yahshuas of the world, the Jesus, the Buddha. Well, look at what the Buddha did. You know, Buddha says, man, okay, here you go. 12 steps. Take this and go do it. Now leave me alone. I'm sitting here under my tree. I'm going to eat some fruit. I'm going, wow. Might even partake of a beauty now and then as she passes by. But you take these 12 steps and you just follow that. But Buddha, there you go. So you have people who come from different directions. The guy on the mountaintop who sits there and says, he doesn't have to worry about them hanging him on a cross, sticking nails in his feet and jabbing him with spears and stuff. He doesn't have to worry about that. But that was his decision. I know you're going to do this, so go ahead. I'm doing this for all the people. See, I think if you wanted to see spears stuck in somebody, get up there. It's all right with me. We decide based upon who we are. That is our right to decide to do that. Okay? One is not better or worse than the other. The only thing that is better is clarity. Clarity of sight. Clarity of sight. If you look, you will see these principles everywhere in the universe. You will see these principles at subatomic, with the behavior of subatomic particles. You will see them in the behavior of the planets. You will see them in the behavior of what you call the universe, because it is not the only one. It is not the only universe. There are interactions. There are things that happen. You will see these laws everywhere. Now, do you choose to live with them? That is up to you. How you live with them. How you live with them. The conditions are different under each way you decide. You take a planet like Mercury. On the sunny side, it's 800 degrees. 24 sunblock ain't gonna cut it. Okay. On the other side is minus 270 degrees. So you have these two extremes existing together. But the conditions on the planet are different. There's no plants growing, there's no animals running around. Little hot. Okay. But then you come to a place like Earth in what we call the Goldilocks zone, where the planet spins so it gets warmed on each side every day as it goes through and as it goes around like that. So now you got, under these conditions, you got us. I'm not sure that's an improvement. You got us, you got animals, you got plants, you got everything because of the conditions. Well, see, the law is the law is the law under certain conditions. If you look at that continuum over here, you got these extremes and you got this result. Here you got where the two come together and it turns, you get a different result. As you move further out, you got things that are not metal-based or earth-based. You have your gas giants as you move further out on the extremes. You follow my point about here, you see everything. Here you have an opportunity to understand by living in the extremes. Heat, cold, in one place. So you get an understanding that if you go to Mercury, if you're on the dark side, you know what to expect. Because if you live at a point here and you know what cold is, you know what minus 270 degrees is like. So you have the ability to understand from this perspective, where you see both extremes. It is the law. 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 To let go of the way we perceive things for the way things are. You choose. I was looking at a guy top of some building in Las Vegas. Jump off with a bungee cord. He's, oh man, that is so great. Really? Cool. That's your choice. You like that feeling? See, I've jumped off of things before. I remember my first jump. You're standing in the door of this cargo plane, and the jump master is saying, go, go. And I'm saying, Well, they finally, 4 or 5 of them got me out. Get out. I didn't like it then. Now I'm just going to volunteer to go up here and jump off of a building with a rope or a rubber band tied to my legs. I don't think so. We each have the right to decide. But that is our right to decide about ourselves. To project that onto others, You know how it is when you start having a relationship with people, everything starts bleeding over. But we're going to be one. No, we're not. What you're going to have is a screwed up thing in the middle. That's what you're going to have. When you can't be you and I can't be me, and I keep bringing my stuff over here, and you keep bringing your stuff over here, what we have is a fight. What we have is a fight. Now, see, if you are nuts, and I'm nuts, and we're nuts about different things, and I say, okay, cool, you're nuts, I'm nuts, you go do your nuts, I go do my nuts. We come together, hey, everything is cool. Everything is fine. Once we agree to that absolute value point. That absolute value point. It's just a perception. It's what I'm saying to you. The perception of God or the perception of men. Men lock into automatic behavior patterns. Automatic behavior patterns. Automatic behavior patterns. I do it over and over and over and over and over and over again. No. No. I once insulted a friend's wife. I didn't mean to. We were having dinner, or having lunch. I hadn't seen him in years. And his wife came at the table and some other people. And I sprinkled some salt on my, whatever it was I was eating. And she yanked the salt shaker. I didn't mean to be insulting. I just asked, what the fuck is your problem? I do not need a mother. I don't need you doing anything. Well, I don't give a damn what you thought. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did I insult your wife? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But I was just making my point. If I want to take... You remember any Southern folks here? Where we used to have those big salt blocks that cows would lick? If I had one of those at the table licking it, that's my business. And sometimes we have to go to those extremes to get people's attention. You mean you don't want me interfering in your life? Aha! You got it. Because someone interfering in my life doesn't have time to pay attention in their own life. In their own life. I don't go around telling people this or that or the other. Walking with a guy the other day who's one of the Bally's disciples of mine. I can't even get a workout. And I run into this guy, and this guy goes, "What up, man?" Throws his arms open. "Yeah, G-O-G." And he grabs me and he hugs me. And he goes, "Who was that?" And I said, "Well, that's one of the leaders of Latin Kings." "You hang out with Latin Kings?" "Only for a few minutes." As we pass each other, I'm not going to say, "Oh, man, now look, you should be doing this or that or the other." No. He accepts me. He cares about me because I care about him for that moment. I hug him. "Yeah, good to see you." His buddy has this big old C where they took whiskey bottles and beat him in the head with it. And he says, "Man," he said, "you say some good stuff to me." Yeah, don't get beat in the head with whiskey bottles. That's some good advice, you know. But I'm not trying to change his life. We are meeting in passing. You follow what I'm saying? We have this here because you come here and you say, "Well, what do you got to say?" And I say, "Here it is." Or I say, I don't wait for you to say, "What do you got to say?" I just say it. If you want it, you take it. You don't want it, that's life. I'm saying we're not out here to interfere in the life of others. Let them be who they are, and if you don't want to be with them, that's the way it goes. One of the mistakes that we make in getting into relationships, we don't take the time to pay attention to each other. Everybody tells you who they are. It's up to you to say yes or no. Soon. I say soon. You know, if they're trying to infringe upon you in the first 2 weeks that you've known them, and you don't say, oh, I don't do that, that's on you. Now we're together for years looking at each other like, I just hate you. You don't say it out loud. I just hate you. Well, why live that way? I mean, that would be my question. That would be my question. I'm going to tell you right, just like the salt. I'm going to say, hey, here you go. Here it is. All right? Can you live with that? Then cool. But I won't live with that. No. Because it tells me about your makeup. I'm an old man. I'm not looking for a mama. I'm not looking for a daddy. I'm not looking for anything. I am living my life as it is dictated by what is in me, what is purely in me. That is what I'm living. And that is what we all should do. We all grow. Peace is a result of understanding. If I observe you and I see me, I'm not so hard on you. See, there's nothing you have done that I haven't done. That's why I can understand. I've been the world's greatest asshole. I mean, just huge. I understand when I see someone doing that. I mean, I want to be with them, but I understand. I'm not going to judge them harshly. You might say, well, what do you think of him? I say, I think he's stupid. That's just an observation. That's not a judgment. Stupid is as stupid does. Okay? You have to examine why you do what you do. And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. The person who responded that way in New York, I said to them later, I said, I want to ask you a question. What did you feel when that person said what they said? Not what you thought, because what you thought is political. What did you feel? Now, what am I driving at? I'm driving at your understanding and going back to the time that you first had that feeling. And when you had that feeling and you felt inferior or insecure or whatever all that is, so you know that what you said had to do with your insecurity and your fear, not the political acts that you placed upon it. So what I'm saying is come back to the feeling. Learn to understand and accept, wait a minute. This is because I feel this way. Now wait a minute, what is it you are saying? Then you weren't saying, no, I wasn't saying that. No, I'm saying this. Oh, now I can understand. Now we can communicate. But what's the first thing we do? To be blind is ungodly. Not because of some weird thing, but because that which is godly, and I'm using the term, is true. It is true. And what separates you from that is non-truth. So if you don't go to the source of your reaction and understand it and admitting it, you are still living in the darkness. And see, that will show, particularly to a person like me, okay, who's looking at you and listening to what you're saying and watching your behavior. Not watching your behavior, but just because that's my nature, is to pay attention. Wow. Okay. And see what is there. That is my nature. That is all of our nature, once we get behind the crap. But to just see and know that you are lying, that you're not telling the truth, that you're trying to live up to something that you can't live up to by rationalizing. You can only feel. I'm having a problem with this word, godliness. You can only feel that. And when you feel that, you are that. And certain things you won't do. You won't be rude. You won't be any of these mean, nasty things. You won't be feeling insecure and jumping all over people or whatever. You won't interfere. It's if these two people are talking, I don't just walk in and interfere with that, because that's rude. That is disrespectful to those two people. That is disrespectful to what they're saying. If I've got something to say, I wait. These are things that you don't do. You would only do that when you feel that if Alan did that, it would only do that because he feels that what he has to say is more important than what they have to say. That would be because of insecurity. You see, it's obvious, and I'm just using that as an example. It doesn't mean, just as an example, this is the way we identify. Why is it that I must do this? I was asked one day about the bench, the weight bench. How long are you going to be here? What's it to you? I've only been here for, like one rep. Okay? I didn't say it. What's it to you? Well, I want to use it. Well, you will have to wait your turn. That's what you will have to do. Bye. A sense of importance that makes you think that what you have is more important than the guy next to you. No. That creates problems. It does not create solutions. So what do we want to be? Do we want to be a part of the problem or a part of the solution? In godliness, everything is a part of the solution. Even the destruction of certain things, the recycling of certain things, is a part of the solution to the ultimate solution. The ultimate solution. We understand that. Okay? When we see, if I'm told all my life when I'm a child that I am worthless, and we come up against something else later in life that someone says, no, wait a minute, wait. That feeling of worthlessness comes up. That person is not talking about what you are responding to, feeling-wise. See, it's about becoming free. Free of the prison of those assumptions. Free to live and enjoy the movement of that energy throughout your entire body. Now, when you feel free to feel that energy throughout your entire body, it moves into the universe. It connects you to all things because all things are the same thing. But when you narrow down that feeling and that energy to these negative ends, you are no longer connected to the whole. You don't see. It's there, but you don't see it. You don't experience it because you want something different. It doesn't quite work that way. It doesn't quite work that way in freedom. It works that way in enslavement to something. Trying to make something real that isn't real. Trying to make something real that can never be real.